The second intervention shows a worksheet with two sheets of paper. It's made up of a transparency sheet, and it's got a gauge on it. This line, this gauge, is a decimal line, and it's overlaid with the equivalent SI units and exponential numbers. So this is actually a transparency sheet with the decimal line with the SI units and exponential numbers overlaid on top of it. It's also got the colours, so it differentiates between the different SI units and exponential groups of threes, which I think is quite a key to just visually being able to see where the three zeros all sit together into their different sets. The worksheet that comes with the transparency is formatted so that the overlay transparency sits right on top of all the numbers on the worksheet. This means that they can overlay the transparency, and they can look through it at the number and shift the transparency to get the number within the right place on the number line. By doing this and using the transparency, they'll be able to convert between the three different number systems: the SI units, the exponentials, and the decimal numbers. How and why for this intervention? The intervention came about mainly because of the use of calculators. The students are using their calculators rigorously, and unfortunately when we get into these very large and very small numbers, the calculator will return the number in exponential. It's then when I notice the students really don't feel comfortable with that number. It has no value for them, and they're not even sure what the number means. It's important that they can convert that number into decimal and exponentials, and it's also important that the number has a meaning to them, that they recognise it as a very small or very large number. This is also done in conjunction with the traditional kind of way of teaching it, where we count the decimal places back and forth. I find there's a lot of confusion around this, so this is almost like a second tool for it, and it also makes it very visual. And once again, they can use it without really committing to writing a number down. They can have a good look around it. They can shift it around and see what happens when the decimal point does move and their number moves about. Students' reaction to it. It's very visual for them, which our students seem to really enjoy, and it's also hands-on. One of the comments I got, I did some student interviews around this intervention about halfway through this year, and a couple of the comments I received on them was the fact that they could see the number in the context of the whole number line, so it gave them a better understanding of the value of the number. And also what was surprising that came out of it was that the colours were very important to a couple of the students. It meant that they could visually see it in their mind's eye when they're in an exam situation and remember where the different SI units sat against each other. Using it in the class, I noticed that once they had their confidence with you after getting that kind of around converting the numbers, a lot of them were using it as like a handy reference tool just to have in front of them, just to remember where the different units were. They didn't use it as overlaying the numbers on the worksheet, but they could convert numbers that were given at them by using it, and I guess visually seeing in their mind's eye that number line and having that gauge in front of them could help them convert a lot more confidently.